We've been spending most of our lives living in a gangster's paradise. R.I.P. to Coolio. This is the Trying to Be Grown podcast. I'm your host, Marty Carter. Over there is my esteemed co-host, Mr. Byron Keaton. Byron, how you doing today?
Another day, another dollar, man. Another day, another dollar.
I can't believe Coolio passed, man. Another one gone too soon, man. Coolio, DMX, it just seems like we lose. You know, it's been a lot in a little bit of time. You know, I'm skipping a bunch of names there. But glad that we are back, hopefully with a little bit of consistency. Hopefully we're getting these out quick. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe so you don't miss anything. And I will have everything time-stamped below. See, bro, I always forget. And it don't help that I'm recording on my phone. I'm still out here with no mic, waiting on the internet to come through, and then I'll be better in terms of my setup. This is what we got for now. Today, we're going to start off talking about the majorettes at USC. All right, has been the subject of a lot of controversy, just conflicting opinions on how people are taking that. And we will then go to something else.
Come on, bro.
I know we just laid them out, bro.
You must have CTE now.
Huh?
You must have CTE now.
I'm telling you, I've taken a lot of hits over the course of my life, man. There's not much. It's not much left.
Fantasy football, man.
Yes. And then we're going to talk about how seriously you should be taking your fantasy football team. All right? Because some of y'all are not paying enough attention, and some of y'all are too serious. So you got to find the happy medium. And then we will finish. Byron is probably going to have something outlandish to say here. I want to know what's the largest wild animal that Byron thinks he can take in a fight. And I'll answer as well.
Yeah. All right. I got some. I think I can take some big ones down.
Big pause. Big pause.
How?
Oh my God. Big pause. All right.
How's that pause?
Let's get into the majorette stuff. All right. I don't even want to talk about your week no more because you threw me off with that. All right. So the majorette situation at USC. You want to fill us in on the I'd say the Cliff's notes?
I'll give you the clip notes. You can fill in as needed. So everyone know what a majorette is. And if you don't know what it is, I'm not going to explain it for you because I barely know the difference. But anyway, it's some form of dancers and whatnot in which they do at football games, typically to whatever song the band plays. But they're not cheerleaders, but technically they're still cheering on the team. I don't get it, but yeah. And so it's really big at HBCU schools. Not for the most part. PWIs don't really have them, but they have a version of them, but it's not the same thing whatsoever.
You got to make sure people know what HBCUs and PWIs are.
Who don't know what that is, but okay.
They don't know.
Everybody know at our age, everybody should know what those are.
Yeah, everybody should know it. I'm not even going to fill in the blanks on your majorette description because that was terrible. Most people.
It was definitely terrible. I don't know what it is, really. I know it when I see it, but I don't know what it is defined.
HBCUs are historically black colleges and universities. PWIs are predominantly white institutions. Go ahead.
And majorettes are basically very prominent and whatnot at HBCUs. And a group of girls at USC, Southern Cal, not South Carolina, because nobody care about South Carolina, they decided to make their own majorette team.
What's up with the South Carolina hate? Go ahead.
It's literally nothing good in South Carolina. But anyways, they decided to make their own team and whatnot. And so at first everyone thought it was all cool because they're at the football games dressed up in their majorette uniforms and whatnot. Before I get into – okay, I'm going to finish the story and I'll get into that. And so they went viral on like TikTok, Twitter, and all that. But then they started receiving some backlash from mainly people that attend HBCUs in which they are saying that more or less they shouldn't take away traditions of HBCUs and bring them to a PWI. Yeah, basically that's it. You can elaborate more, but that's like the crux of their position, that they shouldn't do that because I'm not a fan of the position, so I'm not going to butcher it. But yeah,
Oh, you're not a fan of the position. All right. Well, I kind of see that we're going to be. I don't think that there's like a strict dichotomy from where we're at, but if you're describing it as not a fan of the position, I want you to go first. Can you describe to me what your position on this issue is so I can, just because I feel like mine's going to be contrary.
my position is let these girls do whatever they want. They are not hurting anybody by having their majorette team, and they are not taking away from. Oh, their position is if you want to be involved in the tradition like being a majorette, such as they do at HBCUs, then you should go to an HBCU. Is their like main position on it. And I'm just saying, why can't I do what I want to do at the school of my choice? I'm not bringing other people into my culture. I'm not just letting anybody and everybody in. We have a select group of us who understands what this tradition means.
Can I pause you right there?
Go ahead.
All right. So, how many times, just over the course of, I'd say, our history, have we had traditions and meanings and, just stuff that's shared amongst our community? And as it gets to the larger community, the meaning changes. It becomes, I'd say, watered down just because we want to let everybody have a piece of it rather than just having, our cultural thing. Has that happened a bunch of times before?
I can't think of one.
I can think of a bunch.
I can't think of one.
Think about, I'd say, popular language terms like slang, all right? So if we're talking about like slang terms that have become, I'd say, watered down, the meaning has changed. It's just there are a bunch of them that as it gets to the larger culture, people go, yeah, I like that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because you can't just go without people hearing what you're saying. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. But if we're talking about like an HBCU tradition that we're bringing to the larger, like to the masses and saying, all right, you can have it and kind of do what you want with it. I could just see this going a lot of directions that don't really go in line with the majorette tradition of the HBCU. So, to your point, I'm thinking, there's a young lady that had an exceptional idea because I'm pretty sure that it was just one girl that started it. Obviously, there are more majorettes at USC. And in line with what you're saying in terms of letting her do what she wants to do, celebrating her blackness, just and the blackness of those around her, for sure. I'm with you on that train 100%. But I see and I understand somebody from an HBCU saying, I've grown this tradition, I've respected and grown up with this tradition. I've seen this tradition maintained even as I transitioned out of my college life. Now somebody's taking it and doing something that could damage it. So I understand it. I very much understand.
Well, okay, my thinking is like this. They have a problem. People, I'm gonna say they. They have a problem with this. However, they don't have a problem with, for example, when every single year some white guy goes viral because he a Kappa and he doing the little shimmy, and they go crazy for it every single time. They don't have a problem with it. Why they got a problem with black people doing what things black people have typically done?
Let's see. I think, this is an interesting question that you just posed because I think culture.
The main thing is like the possibility of someone infiltrating and messing it up, or drawing more attention away from HBCUs to people that aren't into HBCU. But I feel like these are the same thing to where either way go, it can be the black community can be infiltrated either way. But one is celebrated and one is tarnished, even though it's not being infiltrated. It has not been infiltrated yet.
Okay, well, think about it this way. If we're talking about somebody coming into, so let's just say because we know that there are white students at HBCUs, right? If there's somebody that's coming and being a part of the tradition where it is, then I think that there's a decided difference in that versus taking the tradition to a different community, if that makes sense. Because when you're talking about, and I push back on you a little bit in terms of going crazy for the white dudes that do the shoulder shimmy. That's not necessarily. You got to remember, there's a whole Twitterverse that sees that. There's a whole Twitterverse that sees that. So
every year I see it, Damani. I see it every year, and they all look the exact same. Buzz cuts. No, bro.
It's not. But think about it this way: if you're talking about just coming into the community and deciding that you're going to be a part of it versus saying this tradition can now be a part of everybody's community, those are different things. You see what I'm saying there?
No.
Okay, so if
everybody community what they've done.
Put it to you this way: if your mama got a recipe, right, and I come into your house and I'm like, hey, can I help cook? You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting salt, pepper, whatever, in and I'm helping, and I take part in the eating. That's one thing, right? But if you are coming to my cookout now, and I got Mama Keaton's cornbread recipe cooking up on the stove right now. Anybody can have some. You know what I'm saying?
What is wrong with it?
That's different. That's different. I'm not saying you can say that there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just asking you to acknowledge that that's different.
It shouldn't be different. It don't make sense. If it's still my cookout, and I'm not just
it's not. It's not yours anymore. Fine.
Yeah, I learned. I may have learned something from you, but I can't expand on it.
Expand on it?
Yeah, I can't bring it to where I am. So basically, what you're saying is, if a black person doesn't go to an HBCU, they can't try to have a HBCU or black experience where they are.
No, that's not at all.
I disagree.
All right. So if I put it to you this way, I can have cornbread at my cookout. I can do whatever I want. But your mama's recipe is your mama's recipe. So she don't need somebody out here that's out here just what I'm saying. Put it to you this way. If I'm cooking it a little bit differently, right? So say I'm putting grapes, raisins, some more stuff in it, right? And I'm still putting her name on it. And now
I'm about to tear you up, but continue. Something just clicked in my mind.
But what I'm saying is, if I'm still putting the same name on it and I'm trying to mix like these two traditions, there's some traditions that just need to be kept in certain places, and we know that.
Okay, and I completely hear you on that.
No,
why does the HBCU community not have anything with any black frats or any black sororities? Because where did all those start?
In PWI.
What'd you just say? They started where?
Let's just go ahead and answer the question, bro. I don't know.
They started at HBCUs, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that part out. But go ahead.
Why would you?
Because I knew the answer, but you made it sound like I didn't know the answer. You said it just sounded like you was going somewhere with that. Like you was going somewhere different with that, and I was like, what?
No, but I'm saying no one has had a problem with black frats and black sororities being transitioned into PWIs. So why should we have a problem with majorettes out of all things, something where it's 10 people, and I don't think they have more than 10 people. Why do we have a problem with this, but we don't have a problem with sororities, fraternities?
What's the purpose of a sorority or fraternity?
What's the purpose of it?
And so you're smarter than me. You go ahead and act. The purpose of a sorority or a fraternity is one, it's togetherness. So especially necessary at PWI because you're gonna have
They are together. They are together. Continue.
everybody that's together is not there for togetherness, though. That's what I'm saying. So if you're talking about the just the fundamental idea of a fraternity, it is a collection of people that are going to be interlinked for prosperity, and they're going to continue that relationship going forward in their life. So we're talking about majorettes. Majorettes are a form of entertainment. And I'm not saying that they're not together. There are a bunch of units that are together, but I'm talking about, if we're talking about the real purpose of I'd say the thing, the entity, whatever we're talking about, the majorettes are more like what I'm saying, like an entertainment entity than they are I'd say something that continually keeps like as a unit going forward.
I ain't rolling, bro.
What you mean you ain't rolling? So what? So is anything that I'm saying not true?
It's 50-50.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
But what I'm saying is, people are saying we shouldn't take anything away from the HBCUs to get your experience at a PWI. But yet we've done this over and over again throughout time, and it makes no sense to me why we draw a line at this.
I don't think people are saying that, and I think it makes perfect sense why you draw a line at this.
Why are we drawing a line? Okay, why are we drawing a line with the majorettes?
Because when I'm talking about, so put it to you this way, Byron. So how HBCU bands operate, right? And we've seen people take some of those traditions and mix them in with their own. But if we wanted to say now we want the whole band at Ohio State to play just like the band from FAMU.
What?
Okay.
What you want me to say? What's your point?
We're in different places on this, I guess. No, but this is. I think there's nothing wrong with, I'd say, mixing traditions in certain cases. But if we're saying that, hey, I'm gonna take this thing that y'all got here, I'm gonna put it at this institution with more money, where it's gonna get more eyes on it, and it's going to be celebrated more strictly because more other people are going to get a chance to see it. Then I think you got to look at what I'm saying. The tradition is for the entertainment. And so if we're talking about bringing an entertainment tradition to a larger platform that is going to not even necessarily dim the light of the other, but is going to bring more attention to one than the other, than the original, I gotta look at why.
And I have a problem with that point as well. People been talking about, since they're at this school, blah, 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 they're going to get more attention than the UAPBs, the Gremlins, the things like that. The thing about it is, they would have not ever gotten this much attention if people at the HBCUs never brought it up as a problem. No. They made it a topic. Because put it like this, Damani. They put that little stuff on TikTok. Who was going to watch it? I wasn't going to hear about it. Were you going to hear about it? Probably not. The reason why you heard about it because it was the discussion and discourse going on about whether it's the morally or the right thing that they should be doing or not. Because now they done made it on like the Ellen show or some talk show recently.
I don't think that's because of controversy though. I think the controversy is just with us. If we're talking about like all of the shows that picked it up, I think the Today Show picked it up or something. They done interviewed the girl and all this other stuff. But they've talked. I put it to you this way: how do you feel about the people that are saying this, and this about you doing it? That's more of a footnote than it is, the whole. No, it's not.
First of all, I haven't even seen them dance. Only thing I know is going on. And the only reason why I know it's going on because people hate. You see, when the old quote they used to say is, haters make you famous. And that's exactly what happened here.
Byron, it was a story beforehand, and that's how it got picked up. That's how people started forming an opinion about it. So I have to disagree with you on that. And you don't know. So I'm saying I saw the story before you did, and it was a story
No,
that was
you
game.
didn't.
Yes, I did.
You did
I
not
did
see it.
because you
I
said
saw.
you
I
seen a
saw it on
band.
TikTok.
Okay, so that if you haven't seen all that I've seen, and I'm telling you where the story began, then probably I saw the story before you. Don't you think?
Where the story begin?
Where did it begin?
Yeah, where did it begin?
Your site?
Yeah.
No. All right, I don't know. Jesus Christ, man. That just don't make sense as to your criteria, dog.
Okay, so what is your position on this? Should they continue? Should they stop? What's your position?
Well, I mean, should they stop? No. I think we have to be careful with this because as you move, I'd say, elements of culture, and I think it's interesting that you bring up fraternities because fraternities remain us, really. Uh, so I think we have to make sure that majorettes and the tradition, if it's going to do the PWI thing, the tradition has got to be preserved. It can't get watered down. We can't, as a collective, decide, oh, okay, we need to have different perspectives and all this other stuff with the majorettes. I don't think so. No, because it's an HBCU tradition. The I'd say the cultural decisions that are made should belong to the original culture. So I'm I'm saying whatever we do with the majorettes, it's got to move in the direction that we want it to move. Does that make sense? That's my position.
No.
Though. How does that not make
Okay,
sense?
okay, I got a question. So they want to be a majorette, but they want to go the school that no HBCUs have their exact major that they want, like for their career. What does that individual do? We always talk about we want people to be proactive. We want people to stay entrenched within our community. What do you do in that situation? You just out
Uh,
of luck?
Not necessarily, no. But I think so. If I want to play football, right? But I want to put it to you this way: if Bama offers me a scholarship, right? But I want to go be a biomechanical engineer at Harvard. I want to go to Harvard Law, right? Do I have any like recourse saying, all right, I'm going to go start Bama's football team over at Harvard, or do I just kind of have to make a choice?
You make your own. You make Harvard football team. You try to make that Bama.
There you go. And I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I think there's nothing wrong with saying, nah, you got to choose between this because it's a tradition that's here and that. I don't think that there's
And that's
anything.
what they've done. That's what they've done. And I think we should be ecstatic that they've done this.
Just because of the cultural implications, I don't think so. I think you can still appreciate it. I think there are a bunch of things that can be said that are positive about these young ladies and their decision. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not knocking the decision. I'm saying that I very much understand the frustration, and I'm saying if we're going to do that, we have to make sure that the tradition becomes that. Okay, so what? Put it to you this way: if the tradition gets watered down, if the tradition gets watered down, is that just a necessary side effect of bringing it to a larger cultural landscape?
Sure, maybe. My thing is
No, no.
you my thing is okay, you've made this argument before in different areas. We as a black community, we have bigger fish to fry. There's more important things going on. There's other cultural things in which we need to do a better job on gatekeeping. Right or wrong.
So you're saying we need to do a better job on gatekeeping, and you're
Such
not.
as such as in rap and things like that. We let anybody walk in through the door.
This is the same thing. This is
Oh,
the.
wait, Damani, wait one second. We let anybody walk through the door in rap.
Not making no
But
sense.
when we are this time, it's not. We're not letting anybody walk in through the door. It's only us, and it's just a group of us doing what they love. We have a problem with that, but we don't have a problem with, oh, let's let Jack Harlow be at the BET Awards. He got the #1 rap song in the country. How many black girls do you know that follow Jack Harlow?
I don't think this the hill you want down, dog. But go ahead, keep talking.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm a Jack Harlow fan. I follow Jack Harlow. I'm just saying.
Try to say, uh,
I'm just saying. We out here saying they need to gatekeep when they are already gatekeeping, but we are not gatekeeping as a whole. We got bigger fish to fry. We have let Jack Harlow infiltrate rap. And he's not even better than G-Eazy.
like I said, I don't want to conflate my position by talking to you. So I'm going to make it very clear. All right, I don't have a problem with what the young lady decided to do at USC. I'm with them, and I hope that their success.
Are you a supporter?
I think yes, I'm a supporter. Yes, I'm a supporter. Now, do I very much understand the frustrations of former HBCU students and current HBCU students, people that share the interest with them? I very much understand their frustrations, and I hope what they're cautioning against in terms of the tradition getting watered down does not happen. I think we have to take active steps to make sure that doesn't happen. And if you call that gatekeeping, fine. But I'm just saying we have to make sure that tradition gets preserved if we're going to go in this direction with it.
We gatekeeping USC majorettes, but we ain't gatekeeping Jack Harlow. There's a problem. That is a problem.
It's oversimplification, and you know it, and it's not even good oversimplification. It doesn't make a lot of sense to do that.
They don't let 6ix9ine walk through the door.
Not the same thing. Not a good comparison.
Island Boys.
Not a good comparison.
I'm just saying, bro. No, one day we're gonna talk about. Nah, I'm not even gonna say that. Never mind. I will say this.
Let's go ahead and transition off of this.
I gotta say my last little piece.
Go ahead.
Not all, but I have no. Well, never mind. Never mind. I'm gonna let it slide. No, I'm gonna say my piece. I have noticed this, and if I don't like it, I can just edit it out. I have noticed this. People who attend HBCUs have more of a problem with people who attend PWIs than the other way around.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why.
We can talk about that. I'm very sure why, and it makes sense.
Why?
That's too deep. We can talk about that another day.
Short little one sentence blurb.
Those who, let's say, are there's a type of I'd say going with the flow that could happen at a PWI that could bring people like us to be kind of different renditions of people that, those that.
You don't know what you want to say.
No, I know exactly what I want to say. I'm trying to find a good way to say it for the podcast. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do is find a good way to word it. I know exactly what I want to say. There are certain types of individuals, I'd say, that PWIs stereotypically are more likely to create, more likely to endorse, um, whatever you want to say, that aren't, again, stereotypically in line with a proud HBCU alumnus. Dang, I found a great way to say that. That's perfect. I couldn't say that again if I wanted to, because I don't remember what I said, but yeah, clip that one. That's perfect. Can we move on now?
We can go ahead. Go ahead, man.
All right. Now,
Less serious note.
on a less serious note, talking about this fantasy football stuff. Byron, how's your fantasy football season going so far?
And I can't win in both of my leagues for nothing at the same time. If I win in one league, it's automatic loss in another. But I think I'm second place in one league and 6th out of 12th in my other league. Not too bad, but can definitely be better. I've lost a quarterback every single week so far. 3 weeks in, I've lost 3 quarterbacks. So there's that.
You have caught a bit of the injury, but we are in a league together that I would like to point out. The last time that we were in a league together, do you remember who won it?
I don't remember who won it.
I do. It was me. I
don't remember that.
A heartbreaking loss for Mr. Riley Williams. Shout out to Rah. I won on the stat correction. So this was back in the time where we had picked a winner and Riley had gotten all his gloating out of the way, and on the stat correction, I won the next day. I won a less than 1 point victory. One of the greatest days of my life so far. But that's the type of championship pedigree that I'm dealing with. I don't want to speak on my position.
Have you won a championship since?
Huh?
Have you won another league since?
It's been a year.
No, that was 2 years ago.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's been a year. So 2 years ago I won, and 1 year ago I didn't do a fantasy league.
Like you act like you only in one league at a time most years.
I only did one league last year, and I didn't win it. I got 4th or 5th. I made a playoff. But yeah, so what I'm saying is I feel like I'm doing pretty good as a fantasy owner. I was picked 12th in the power rankings in another league. Yes, we have power rankings. We're very serious about it. And I have moved, knock on wood, got a wooden desk in front of me, to 1st, tentatively, as of now. Very happy about my team. Not going to speak on my position in the league because I don't want to jinx myself. But
do y'all vote on power rankings, or is it like computer generated power rankings?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't remember what we do, because this is the part that I'm going to get into. Multiple people in that league take it way too seriously. Way too seriously. For my liking, at least. Because I'm talking about, like, they all making decisions over the course of the week. The group chat always got 100 messages in there trying to figure out what we're going to do. Hey, are we going to add? Are we going to do this next year? They had a draft. They pick a location for the draft. The winner picks a location, and they draft on location. Just like...
That's the right way to do it, though. That's the right way to do it. I do agree with that. I agree with the location as well as some type of activity to determine draft position. But it only works if everyone is in the same area.
That's fun, all right? That's fun. I will give you that. But I'm saying I'm feeling trade offers every day. Like they're trying, and I think this is part of the reason that I've had a moderate level of success in this league, is because I am a more of a, and we talked about it in that league, I am more of a he got that dog in him analytics guy versus, looking at, fantasy football now, listening to Matthew Berry, all them other experts. No, it's fantasy football. I'm the expert. I'm the coach. I make the decision.
That's why you haven't won in that league.
No, I have won in that league. That's what I'm saying. I've had a moderate level of success. I don't think I've ever missed the playoffs in that league. Again, not on wood. But yeah, won a championship, got in another one, lost. Really on a it was a tough one, but yeah. So I've had some success, and I think you got to have an appropriate level of fantasy football like commitment. What do you think an appropriate level of fantasy football commitment is?
I think that depends on how much the prize is slash the buy-in.
Well, yeah, I mean,
For
I can't,
me,
but that's, I guess I can kind of see that. Go ahead.
if it's a free league and it's just like for moral victories, you shouldn't be out here looking at fantasy football stuff all day, every day. If it's a $25 league, you shouldn't be going above and beyond, sending 5 trade offers a day and whatnot, constantly blowing up people's phone. That's too much. I say once you hit that $100 mark, yeah, if you $100 buy-in, I'm cool with you being as aggressive as you want. Because say you got $100 buy-in, that can be $1,000 win at the end of the year. Assuming 12 people, a couple of things. But I say the appropriate, you should, no matter what, you should never spend over 2.5 hours a week on fantasy football.
I think 2.5 is way too much.
I know. That's why I said you should never. That is like my hard cap. Maybe if you got a whole bunch of injuries and you moving stuff around and you're in multiple leagues, maybe 2.5 hours.
I think your hard cap is way too high. Because when I'm
What's your
talking,
hard cap? An hour?
yeah,
But also I kind of include in there like watching what your team does. Like I include that as well.
no, because I'm just watching football and I'm like, dang, I gotta go check these stats. And I mean, it don't take nothing to open the phone and look at the fantasy app and see what everybody's doing. It don't take nothing but 2 minutes to do that. So I think if you're, put it to this way, if you are reading the full lines that they're giving you on the players, if you subscribe to anything, if there is any content that you pay for that specifically addresses fantasy football, you can't. No, you're doing way too much. This is fantasy football. That's one. Like you shouldn't be consulting other experts. The expert should be you. I'm fine with you reading the look. You got to read the recent news, all right? Because I'm not gonna know if I'm not in the Lions area. I'm not gonna know that Swift rolled his ankle last week in the game. If I didn't watch all the ESPN highlights, I'm not gonna know that. So I'm fine with you reading the recent news. Don't watch somebody else talking about fantasy football for an hour or even 30 minutes. It's just too much. It's too much. Because to me, if it works out, then I'm gonna feel like I didn't really do it. Then I'm gonna feel like, dang, Matthew Berry just won me my league. I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But if it doesn't work out, and I had an original thought, and Matthew Berry maybe changed my mind, I'm gonna want to send him an email. So you might as well just live and die with your own opinions. There are people that know nothing about football that win fantasy football leagues every year because it's fantasy football. That's
So
gotta happen.
I might be the unluckiest person in fantasy football though.
Nah, you're just not a good GM, dog. You're not a good
No,
GM.
I'm like last time, so that was about 3 years ago. Because recently I said I'm going to stop playing fantasy football because every single year, 2 of the best players in the league always get hurt on my team. For example, the year after Christian McCaffrey broke out, I had him. Of course, he's out for the season.
And now you're trying to trade me for him now, and that's a horrible compensation package, but go ahead.
2, I had Saquon right after he had broke out the year before. Now he's just the most injured person in the world. Then for some reason, he's healthy as can be this year.
Yeah,
Why is he not hurt? Then who did I have last year?
Shout out to
It's
Will.
something I can.
He had Saquon last week, and I need Will. If you're watching this, go ahead and hold that for me. That's all yours.
But yeah, every single year, I get all of my star players at multiple positions. Actually, no, that's what it was last year. Last year, every single position in my starting lineup had an injury out for multiple weeks. Every single position, from quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end. Only thing that didn't get messed up was my kicker.
You know why, Byron? You got to draft them guys with heart, man. You got to draft them guys with heart.
You can't, no, Damar, you can't tell me that every single player on my team would be out at some point.
They have no heart. I'm telling you right now, check this out. Last year, I drafted King Henry, who has been my first pick in the first round for 3 years straight, right? He did wonders for me through 6, 7 weeks. He get hurt. Who do I trade? Tell me who I trade for, Byron.
Well, no, I didn't.
I traded for Jonathan Taylor. And if you want to talk about somebody that was a dog for the last 10 weeks of the season, it was Jonathan Taylor. Every week, he had a 40 ball for me. And you know why? Because I can see it in him. I could see it in his eyes. When he was coming off, I was like, you know what? He going to be on my squad. I need him for my squad. And I made it happen. Because I can see the dog. You drafting all these puppies and wondering why your team ain't got no success.
So Darren Waller a puppy now?
No, I'm not saying that.
All right, then. That's all I'm saying.
But see the dog in your guys. You got to be able to see it. I'm going to regret this. I'm telling you, my team better not flop because I done said I knocked on wood 4 times.
Hey, also, so what's up with that trade, though?
No, not going to happen.
Bro, the people that I sent over, first of all, it was a 2-for-2 trade, and both of them have scored better than your people this season. So what's wrong with the trade?
Hawkinson, first of all, I picked up Hayden Hurst.
Tight end.
I don't need TJ Hawkinson. Jared Goff ain't throwing the ball, so I'm not.
You like the number 4 tight end right now, or 5?
I've watched a little bit of the games, right? Because I wanted to watch Cam. I watched the game with the Commanders. They scored a bunch, and he just wasn't getting targeted enough. I don't know if he's not in the game plan or what, but I need a bunch of targets. That's what I want. I don't even care if you.
Commanders always lock down tight ends though. They always make sure they slow up tight end.
All right, let me explain it to you like this. All right, if you got that dog in you, if I find somebody at tight end that got that dog, you know what I'm saying?
So you only want 2 tight ends in the league?
Huh?
You only want 2 tight ends in the league then?
No. You just got to. I'm telling you, you got to see the dog and you got to see it at the right time. There are temporary dogs. There are some people that develop a dog. There's some people that have a dog for a season and they lose it. But you got to see the dog emerging. When I saw Jonathan Taylor coming off that sideline, I saw an emerging dog. I made the call, and I made it happen. Because that's
So you would trade for Travis Kelce and some trash people that you don't want on your team, but you won't trade for a double upgrade at running back and tight end?
Hey, look, man. This is what I'm telling you. I can see it. You can't. So if you don't trust my judgment, that means I'm doing something right.
Because I need another running back. And you need a tight end.
You sure do.
Why can't we make something happen?
We can talk off air, bro. Anybody want to hear about our fantasy football transaction? Smooth transition. All right. So, you out in the wilderness. You wouldn't be out in the wilderness. So let's just say your car broke down on a back road or something. And boom, Bobcat. You already done. You walked away from the car. You don't have time to get back. Could you fight a Bobcat to the death and win?
That Bobcat is dead. Call help for the Bobcat. Immediately.
I know I'll say something dumb. So what's the biggest animal you can take in a fight, man? What's the biggest one?
I know I think I can beat up a cheetah.
Byron, no, no,
What do you
no,
mean?
no. That's exactly what I said. No,
No. Let's discuss this one. Why do you think I can't beat up a cheetah?
Byron, you have to kill it.
Yeah,
So let me
you
think
do
about.
realize cheetahs aren't big, for one.
Cheaters are powerful, Byron. That's kind of what you're missing here.
Wait. So you saying I'm not?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Bro, look at these hands. Got calluses. You saying? Nah, let me tell you how big a cheetah is, bro. How
All right,
big is a cheetah?
I'm gonna name some smaller stuff that's messing you up. A
Bro, that
kangaroo.
thing it is from 46 to 160 pounds.
You're 160 pounds.
See, bro, don't this? I know I'm 180, bro.
Okay, so think about put it to you this way. So
That thing
you're
is it's 3 feet tall, 3 feet long, 3 to 4 feet. Yeah, bro, that cheetah is done with, bro.
no. Mm-mm. You have to understand what you're talking about in terms of power. Do you know how much power it takes to propel their bodies to 55 miles an hour?
Bro, I can put it like this: if I'm running on all fours, I probably can get to about 40.
I hang this. I get off this call right now. Get off this call right now. It's the stupidest. What?
Bro, I bet if I knew how to run on all fours, because I can run about 20 standing up. I think the average human run about 22. Well, fast human run about 22.
Multiplying your speed by the number of limbs that's gonna be on the ground. So
I double.
if you double the number of limbs, then you're going to double the speed.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense, man. That makes no kind of sense. That's horrible logic. Horrible logic.
So put it like this: the reason why we aren't, first of all, you can't be as fast on 2 feet rather than four, just because you have more power to push off the ground, right?
So why don't people run 40s on four legs?
Because it humans don't know how to do that naturally. We don't know how to run on all four.
So if I gave you 3 years,
I probably yeah,
that's on all fours, you'd
I
be
can
able
do
you'd be able to race Usain Bolt and win. What you saying?
it. Probably. Because
Yeah,
think about this, Damani.
I know people at home will be like, "Nah, I mean he joking. He can't be this stupid." This is genuine. He genuinely believes some of the stuff he be saying. I don't know if this is one of them, but he
The
said
thing about it is, you aren't as good laterally if you're on all four, just because it's harder to stop, start, all that. But if you're just going straight ahead, you put it on all four, you got it. I think I can beat up a cheetah for sure. Um, what other name some animals for me? I'll tell you if I beat them up or not.
kangaroo.
Oh, if I get first punch, yeah.
No,
The
no.
only thing is, I'm not worried about a kangaroo unless I unless he catch me with one of them kicks, one of them little they jump in the air and kick
But I'm
you. That's
not
the
gonna
only.
kick though. How's he not gonna catch me a kick? You gonna weave
Bro,
that
I've
kick?
seen the kangaroo get beat up before. Remember that dude had the kangaroo had the dude dog and he pow, punched him. The
You talk
kangaroo.
that video was not real, Byron. That's not a real video. I really hope you kidding
For
because
real? Wait, time out, time out. There ain't no real video.
that was not a video.
Bro, no, you lying, bro. I don't believe that.
If y'all haven't seen the video that he's talking about, please just look up kangaroo. Like man fights kangaroo over dog because that's not a real video.
Wait, nah, bro. I don't what? Demon, I think you wrong. I think you just made that up.
No, I'm dead serious.
What other animals are there? So you have, I think I can beat up most dogs. Wolf, a lone wolf. Mm.
Byron doesn't know much about the animal kingdom. I'm gonna just let that one.
I think with my adrenaline up, I think it's a 50-50 chance with a wolf.
Byron, you know how big wolves are.
Yeah, yeah. You seen that? You seen the tweet today too? One that was with the husky or whatever.
Oh yeah, I did see that. But I was just like I've just seen them looking at like prison documentaries from Siberia and stuff like that.
What?
Russia's toughest prisons, man. If you haven't watched it, go watch it on Netflix. It was pretty cool. It was a dude that ate people. Like he said, it tasted weird, so he fed like he gave his neighbor the leftovers and didn't tell him it was people. He told him it was like chicken or something. Yeah, but that was a tangent. No, not a wolf. Not a wolf. Not happening for you.
I think it's 50-50.
No, it's
You
not.
ask me. You can't. First of all, Damani, you can't ask me what do I think I can beat up and then not answer.
I
Talk about
know.
what could Mike Tyson beat up a wolf?
No, we're just limited as humans, and we don't understand that until like we think about like what other animals just naturally do without any weight
But
training.
I disagree with that because they say us as humans we only know about 40% of our capacity,
That's
and you don't know until you're in that life or death situation. You are fighting for your life, and not everybody is like me. The only reason why I work out at this point is for life or death situations. I want to be strong enough to be able to, if I gotta hang off a cliff, I got the upper body strength to do so.
but that's
If
hanging
I
off.
gotta lift a car, I
That's
can
not.
do so. If I gotta fight a kangaroo, I can do so.
But you can't. But I'm saying the natural capability of a kangaroo, right? So they talk about like how strong your leg muscles are, and they say they're strong enough to snap your femur, right? Your brain just won't let them do it. So we know that. Okay, so they're strong enough to snap my femur. Gorillas are strong enough to snap your femur plus some, and that's like very
I
very
said I
little.
can get through it.
But I'm saying, like, if we're talking about the capacity of other animals versus our capacity, the other animals are going to win out. Most of
Nope,
them.
I disagree.
All right, man.
So what animal do you think you can beat up?
Um,
A
trying
monkey.
most like primates are gonna like a baboon, no chance you survive. A chimpanzee, no chance you survive.
Well, I've told you this before. I'm destroying a chimpanzee.
Byron, this and I've forgotten that we had this conversation. No, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Demond, you must don't know how many fighting videos I've watched in my life.
Byron, I don't care how many fighting videos you watch. You can't beat up a chimpanzee. There's no
Why?
way. No way
Why
that you can
not?
beat a chimpanzee.
Why?
Because they're too strong. That's what I keep trying. That's what I've been trying to
Because
tell.
I ain't strong. Who has more leg strength, me or the chimpanzee?
It doesn't matter.
So we talk about the kangaroo leg strength, but when it comes to my leg strength, it don't matter.
Byron, if you're talking about like just the entire body of a chimpanzee, a chimp is going to kill you.
It weighs like 85 pounds, 110 pounds.
This goes back to the cheetah thing, dog. It's just how much power that they have. It doesn't matter if it's situated in their legs or not.
Demani, I don't know if you underestimate me or if you're underestimating humans. Either way it go, I got a problem
I wish we
with
could.
it.
I wish we could set it up. I really wish we could set it up so that you could see that a chimpanzee. You know how many how like people have tried to domesticate chimps and they've ended up like eating their faces off. You're aware
Yeah,
of that?
because they weak. But go ahead and what's your animal? I think mine is going to be either cheetah or did I say kangaroo? Kangaroo maybe. Lone wolf maybe.
I'm trying to think.
Come on, bro. You got to name one.
So I'm trying to think. So if I'm fighting, The biggest one I can think of, probably a llama. Because llamas are decently big, but I like my chances. If I got to kill one.
Well, I can beat up a llama. Horse.
No, horse is too strong.
Yeah, bro. I've seen them kicks. So I'm assuming you can't beat up a zebra either.
Probably not. I don't know much about zebras.
Okay. An eagle.
Like my chance of eagle is big. Like a bald eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Them joints big.
Now, I will say this. If there are any snakes involved, it's an automatic L for me. That's where I draw my line at. I can't beat up a snake just because I'm disgusted by them, as well as it's scary, bro. I don't think I'd be scared of a cheetah if I see it.
I think a snake is a really easy, obviously not the bigger ones, not like reticulated pythons, boa constrictors, anacondas. Obviously, that's a L. So you got to fight one of them to the death.
What about king cobra?
But I'm thinking like snakes that you can catch. Snakes that no, they're not. King cobras aren't as big as pythons. They're the biggest poison.
No, they're not as big, but they still like 7 foot tall, 7 foot long.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you can catch it, like you can catch a king cobra like by its tail, and then just like you got to time it right. But I'm just saying your chances are better with a king cobra than they are with like a python, because if you have to kill the python with your bare hands, there's no way to do it.
Hey, Damani. I don't like how you're trying to make it just sound so simple to be able to kill a king cobra, because it ain't happening, bro. You're trying to say it's like a small. No, bro. That percentage is at 0.0001.
Have you seen like what happens? So just going back to the crocodile hunter, when he caught snakes, like he could catch a python, like he could do the little thing, but the other camera guy would have to keep it from wrapping them, because that's just what they do. So I mean, you can catch them, but if you got to kill them, nah, because they're just gonna choke you out. But if you can get like behind the king cobra, and he caught those, so if you can catch it, then you can just bang the head on the ground till the thing die.
Why can't I choke out a chimp?
They're too strong, Byron. That's what I keep trying to tell you.
So what's your final answer? Llama is your final answer?
Llama is my final answer.
Camel?
Nah, the camel's too big.
You better than that, bro. You gotta see. If I'm ever in a fight for my life, I'm not calling Damani Carter, because he's gonna be scared. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, bro. If you got a chimpanzee on your hand, go ahead. You gotta handle that yourself. I'm not helping.
I'm disappointed in you, Damani.
And somehow I'll find a way to be all right with that.
But hey, y'all, that's about it for us. Y'all let us know what y'all think about the HBCU majorettes and the USC majorettes. If it's cool or not, drop a like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate y'all. You got anything to say, Damani?
Just if you see Byron and a chimpanzee in a fight, please
help the chimpanzee.
Call first responders, because he has no idea what he's about. Just please call somebody, because you shouldn't have to die just for being stupid. All right, so make sure that if you ever see it, that we get somebody called. We appreciate you rocking with us. Like I said, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Didn't say this last time. My man KT is playing us out. Show Thief, go stream all of his stuff. Go get it on iTunes or Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your music. We out of here. Peace. When that pressure get applied, is you gon' pass it, you gon' shoot. I stood tall. When you make it through the struggle and the pain, do you get your umbrella off the chance that it might rain? I stood tall. Ooh, I stood tall. Ooh, I stood tall. Ooh,
When I see my people going through it, I put the blame on me. And I see my homie lose his mind, but I gave him his first taste of lean. I ain't gon' lie, that really hurt me, but I had to close the curtains. And one thing I learned on Lion King is everybody gotta eat. Never tell a party, let me get a whole piece. And nah, little homie, can't get that from me. You play football, you got a bright future, you supposed to see you on the TV. And I said that's true, and I'm gon' do it, but I really gotta make something happen. And I probably could've asked my family for something, but instead I started hitting licks with daddy. Ain't gon' lie, that turned me to a savage. Really living life like a bandit. And then Murph told me, keep your head on, man, don't do nothing reckless. But now I'm older now, I'm a grown man. Go to church every Sunday, I'm a praying man. You ain't gonna never see me fall, I'm always standing. One thing I do is stick to the plan. When you make it through the struggle,